That's right. Hi, I'm Elsa. I'm an immigrant, which seems sadly relevant to mention today. I live in Levenshulme. That's where I've made my home, where I volunteer for Mums for Long and our Streets for People, our local active travel group. I look forward to working with whoever is elected here. I'm asking my question here on behalf of my two children. Many areas of Gorton and Denton frequently exceeds legal limits of air pollution. If elected, what specific actions will you take to protect children's health? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question and for coming, and thank you for the work that Mums for Lungs have done. I've been, I've worked before on the mayoral campaign and committed to a lot of the pledges because I really believe in them. I know myself when I lived in Levenshulme, one of the difficult things was how polluted the A6 was. And it's depressing that if you move to a better area, you have a longer, healthy life expectancy. That's something that now, as I've got older and wiser, I don't want to see. I think that everybody, wherever you live, should have the same standard of clean air. It's about consultation, I think, with residents to make sure that schemes are brought in, support everybody. But I think we want to see better public transport available for people, more school streets, because we know that children who arrive at school having walked or cycled are in a better frame of mind and ready to learn. And it's about creating that early on so that children have exercise and fresh air as a part of their lifestyle so that when they become an adult it's already in them. But I know it's really difficult to encourage people to walk or cycle when our roads don't seem that safe. But yeah, a lot of it is about community engagement and an MP who will believe in the cause and work with you.
Angeliki.
I have actually delivered on this priority in Levenshulme and across the patch. This is about investing in public transports, and this is making sure that public transport is the preferred mode, or for the shorter trips it is walking and cycling, and we've done a lot in the area around walking and cycling. I was the person that has been through various consultations with the local community about the low filter scheme, and I know that at the time it was very divisive. I know that we went again and had a consultation and we listened to what the residents said in terms of where the filters want to go. I was the person that delivered schemes outside the schools to make walking and cycling safer, and also bringing in the city the 20s Plenty scheme. This is about listening to the communities and taking action, listening to the voices and finding solutions that work with the local area and the local trips that people are making.
Charlotte.
Thank you. I'm not familiar with your work or the results of what you found. But as I said before about Denton Station, I mean, I know that's not near where you are, but definitely a supporter of people, using the train to commute where they can, which is why we need a regular service from Denton to Stockport. I can't really comment on what you're saying to me, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Honesty, politician doesn't know the answer. Matt.
So the first answer, I think, is about consultation with local groups who are already doing the work on the ground and who sometimes know the issues a lot better than politicians. But there's also a lot of tension running through the answers, a bit of hypocrisy, shall we say, running through some of the answers. We can't have less traffic if we're also encouraging overpopulation. It's just impossible. So if we're going to have pressure, if we want people to be not driving around, we're going to have to also deal with the population crisis. We can't have better public transport if we're not dealing with antisocial behaviour. So if you're legalising crack cocaine, heroin and drugs like the Greens want to do, just imagine for a moment what that's going to do to antisocial behaviour. I spoke to a lady in Abbey Hay maybe 3 days ago, pensioner. She'd love to use the bus. She'd love to go on the bus. She says, I don't really leave home anymore because public transport isn't safe for me. That is a widespread perception in this seat. Antisocial behaviour is an enormous part of this story. So we need to, what I would argue, what Reform UK argue for, is zero tolerance on antisocial behaviour.
Okay, thank you. I think we've got time. Sorry.
Thank you. Yes, well,
Jackie, apologies.
Yes, I must admit, I didn't realise that antisocial behaviour added so much to air pollution. But I know the air pollution's bad because I've been measuring it, and I realise that every single day what I'm breathing in is bad. And I have to say there's something else that hasn't been mentioned yet. I mean, I fully support moving tram trains to Denton Station and on that line because that would move a lot of traffic, well, off Hyde Road, which is where I live. But, the other thing we've not mentioned is this fad for wood-burning stoves, which is undoing a lot of what the Clean Air Acts of the 1960s did to actually clear up the air in our cities. And whenever it's a cold night now, particularly if there's a temperature inversion, it smells like everything's on fire. and that is actually adding hugely to the particulates. So as well as public transport and tram trains, we need to make sure that we look at all of the causes.